Hello everyone, welcome to new video. In this video, we will explore a fascinating concept called reactance. And what is it and how this shows up in your daily life and the strategies to navigate away from it. So all of these things we will discuss in this video much more detailed way. So stay tuned. And the first thing, what is reactance? Reactance is a psychological response from a person when that person's freedom or freedom of choices being restricted or threatened. So it's a natural response. It is that internal resistance which kicks in when someone tells us what to do or what not to do, and making us wanting to do exact opposite of that. And this type of resistance or this resistance we are talking about, and it's called the reactance. And let me give you some examples so that you will be able to understand this concept more easily. So if you have any child and you want to ask the child to don't watch the TV, and what happens to that child is the child will react all the possible ways that that child can, because the child felt a sense of lost his freedom of watching TV, and that's why this child has got frustrated, and you probably know what the reaction that can be expecting from those child, right? So this is a simple example. And another example that I'm gonna think is, so in a workplace, let's say management decide to implement new dress code for the employees. What will happen? The employees think that it lost the freedom of wearing dress with whatever way that they can has been restricted, and they start, and you can expect mixed reaction because of this reactance, and it which leads a lot more defensive working and less job satisfaction, and which can leads frustration and a lot of dramatic situations, right? So this is because of the reactance. Hope you understood the reactance with clarity, right? Okay, so why handling the reactance is so important? Because it improves the relationship, it improves communication, and it reduces the conflicts, and it improves the cooperation, promotes autonomy, and all of this makes the reactance is so much important. And that's why we are really interested in how to handle this part. So there are two ways that you can handle it. The first thing would be, so rather than giving an exact thing, you can provide options. Like in the case of TV, watching the TV, restricting the child. So you can tell, like, so when you want to watch the TV, it's a 5 to 6 or 6 to 7, which one you want to pick. And then the child will feel that child has still have some options exist, and that child's reactance will be low. And the similar way in the employee's case, you can talk to employees like, so these are the dress code, which one you want to pick it up? And that is also one way to deal with this. Give some options. We are not entirely denying their choices of freedom, instead of giving some choices so that they feel less reactant. And secondly, you can explain the why you are imposing such a restrictions among them, and you can detail it out. And possibly you can also include them in this decision-making process. In the case of child, you can bring the child in and say that if you watch TV for quite a long time, these are the consequences which would happen in future, and it deviate you from the study, and it distracts so many things. So these kind of detailing out all the problems which happens, this will give the child less defensive about this. And in case of employees, you can discuss with the employees what kind of dress code and why it is important to have a dress code and things like that. And this will give more cooperation. It will promote more cooperation, much enhance the relationships, right? So this is a two-way that you can handle the reactance. And so far we talked about, so you are the person who is triggering reactance of the other person. So in this case, you can do all of these things. So what happens? Another person is triggering reactance of you. So in that case, you're just aware of the reactance. There is a term exists, and this is a concept of reactance, and By aware yourself about that itself, lower down your reactance level, and still you can be mindful about the action that you're taking against to regain your lost freedom. And that is the actual way to deal with it. Be mindful about it and be mindful about the activities that you're doing. And yeah, so that's it about the reactance. Thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know your opinions in the comments. Thank you so much.